Welcome back to the Well Below Average podcast, our first video podcast. As you can see, our beautiful mugs here. How you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing good. I actually have to look at something while I do this podcast. Sometimes I just doze off while you're talking, but now I can't do that because people would know. So we'll see how this goes. The video cast, all the kids are doing it. So we'll see if we can keep it, you know, somewhat okay, average. It'll probably to fit the brand. We'll do our best to keep it below average.
Well, I'm sure everything that will go wrong can go wrong will go wrong, and I even got that sentence wrong. So
We're off to a good start.
yeah, right on brand. So and how's your week been? Anything crazy happen? Got the kiddo doing anything fun yet?
No, nothing crazy. Venturing out a little bit more, close to home, restaurants and things like that, but nothing too wild. Getting a little bit more sleep, so things are going well.
That's good. You sound a little more peppy today, so like to hear
Well,
that.
so I've had quite a bit of caffeine today, and in fact, segue. We're professionals here. We have been talking about a coffee sponsor for this podcast, and we have one. Um, It has been a long time coming, and I have been loaded up on some very good coffee. Our good friends, new friends at Rodeo Coffee, brewed right here in Fort Worth. It is small batch roasted. It is phenomenal. It is made to order. It is hand roasted, so you are getting the best of the best. Literally, I mean, this isn't some big company that just throws beans and roasts it. This is done by hand. It is ethnically sourced. I just had some this week, Adam. I had the Colombian blend, and I mean this in the best way. Very simple, very good coffee. So if you're just a person that loves their morning coffee, wants a solid cup that they can drink maybe one, two, in my case, sometimes 3 or 4 cups a day, it is the coffee for you. It was fresh, flavorful, easy to drink. Didn't hit you with all kinds of weird, fruit notes and all kinds of things. There was some subtle notes in there. Great coffee, the Colombian blend. If you want to check it out, and you should, go to rodeocoffeeco.square.site, and they also have some merch. They have some cool T-shirts. You see them all the time at all kinds of pop-up shops. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They post all the time where they're going to be. So if you're out and about, go check them out. The coffee is great. Good people over there, and they will certainly keep you energized as well if you have a newborn like me. But a brand new coffee sponsor, really excited about that. They've got some great stuff.
Yeah, we got to meet Chaz last Sunday. You actually got out to the pop up and got to uh, meet up with him and try out a couple of his cold brews, right?
Yeah, I tried the cold brew, and admittedly not a cold brew fan. Like I mean, I like it, but if I'm gonna drink coffee, no matter what time of day, it's almost always gonna be hot. Tried the cold brew, that was really good. I believe that was the Ethiopian blend, but the hot coffee that I've been drinking all week has been the Colombian blend. Really enjoyed it. Gonna order up some more because we're running real low at the house. But good stuff. Rodeo Coffee, right here in Fort Worth. So our new coffee sponsor, which I did not. I don't have a coffee cup with me. I just have some water because you should drink water too. But great stuff at Rodeo Coffee.
I like my coffee like I like my women, Nick. Bitter and murky.
It is not bitter at all. But yeah, so shout out to Chaz at Rodeo Coffee. Great stuff, and we are happy to be a part of it.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a great thing. Came together real smooth. Yeah, love those guys out there. Something interesting, not really news. Usually we get into the news. Did you know? I just ran across this morning. The Rock is the most popular singer of all time. Dwayne The Rock Johnson now has dominated wrestling, acting, and now singing.
I did not know the singing part. Well, I guess I do know why though. Is it Moana?
Yeah, Moana just became the most. Now it's not consecutive, but it hit its 52nd week at #1 for a soundtrack, which took out Frozen soundtrack.
Really? So
Yeah.
I'm not too surprised because Moana's soundtrack is pretty elite.
Yes.
We liked it a lot before we had a kid. Now we have a kid, and we're hoping like Moana is still somewhat relevant when our daughter, is watching Disney and all those things. But actually going to talk a little bit about the Disney parks here in a bit. But if you're a Disney person, there's it's a Polynesian resort. There are Moana themed rooms now. So Moana hasn't lost any steam, I guess, because the soundtrack's so popular. They're making rooms about it. So, you're welcome, I guess, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is saying, because his voice. Now, I will say they doctored up his voice pretty good, because he is very much like, just, you can kind of tell in parts of it, like he's barely singing in some of those parts, but it's a great song.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they really tailored the song to him. So yeah, but I just thought that was real interesting. Like, dang, Rock was probably the most popular wrestler at one point. Obviously, the highest paid actor currently, popular actor right now, and then now he's dominating the music space. So,
oh yeah,
and I like it. Like, I don't know, how do you feel about actors singing? Like, have you heard Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye? Have you heard his music?
I have not. I guess like Hugh Jackman kind of falls in this category, though he's fairly talented. Going back to The Greatest Showman, Les Mis, all that. He's fine, and I think that it brings a certain different side of them, and widens their repertoire of what they can do. But it's okay. I don't love when it gets all doctored and changed and all those things.
Best actor singer all time, Eddie Murphy, right?
Probably. We need to, maybe we need to do some research on this. I would say probably, as my cat is making a cameo in our podcast here. He wants to be a part of the show, so I guess he was napping in this room. But this is what we get for doing video, as he makes his appearance here.
He could be our yuck monkey, having to do dumb stuff. But well, let's get into some news. I'm working off a laptop today, so it's a little different. As per usual, we're going to do Explore or Snore. I will read off a headline. Nick, you will tell me if it sounds interesting and you want to explore the story, or it's boring and we're going to hit snooze on it. So,
all right.
Let's get into this. First story up. Imagination Skittles help boy 5 conquer the Appalachian Trail.
I do enjoy Skittles. This seems up our alley in that it's just kind of off the wall. So go ahead and let's explore this 5-year-old. Let me pet my cat here. But a 5-year-old boy in Skittles. Let's hear it.
All right. So basically, it's not the youngest kid, but apparently this has been happening more often. This 5-year-old with his parents, of course. This since, golly, when did they start? February, June. Started hiking a nearly 2,200 mile Appalachian Trail that started in Spring Mountain, Georgia, to Mount Katahdin in Maine.
Okay.
So him and his parents. And the Skittles part is one of the staples of their diet, because they were hiking so much, was tortillas stuffed with peanut butter and Skittles.
What?
That was his go-to snack.
Hold on, I need to kick my cat out of the room. He's being annoying. I'm gonna talk. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna talk while I do this here. So, right. Skittles, peanut butter, tortilla.
Yes.
First of all, how do you think they came up with this?
The snack?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I guess just you're walking around. You only got so many options. I'm sure you're like, okay.
You have a young son. I mean, he's a little older than this, but thinking back to my days of elementary school, being a young boy, my mind immediately goes to, you want to combine really chips on sandwiches. Every single soda in the fountain goes in the cup. I bet it was this kid that was like, because I've put peanut butter on a tortilla before. You don't have any bread, throw some peanut butter on it. It's not bad, pretty good. Oh, yeah. I bet it was the kid that was like, you know what? I'm going to put some Skittles on this and try it out. And that's how they came up with it, because I can't imagine any adult thinking that would be good. But it probably, if they ate it enough for it to be in a story, wasn't bad. I mean, I don't know if I'd try it. I know I have tortillas at our house. I know I have peanut butter. I don't think we have any Skittles, or I'd try it.
Yeah, it might be something. Since we're on video, definitely you always say a grape nuts eating.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, we need to get that on.
I was waiting for the video, hoping that it would actually never come, and here we are.
There we are. Yeah, my 10-year-old daughter is real crazy when like pickles and Skittles. Like she'll like eat all kinds of crazy candy that you don't think would work. Chips and Sour Patch Kids. Like,
have you tried have you ever seen the pickles soaked in Kool-Aid?
Yeah, I think they do that. My daughters do that.
And the pickle will turn like purple, red, whatever color. I don't know if I'd like that. Like, I like pickles, like on a burger or some sandwiches, but I'm not one of those weirdos that like loves pickles and will eat them in any way. Like the high school football game with the huge pickle. That's not for me.
The pickle as a snack. Now I will eat the baby gherkins, the little bitty ones.
I'll snack
on those. Those are good. How do you feel about the green olive?
I actually had a change of heart on green olives. I used to only be a black olive person. I really like green olives, especially like on pizza. Big fan of green olives. Yeah.
Yeah, my 10-year-old and I are big green olive, and we'll have a jar in. We'll just grab a spoon, and me and her will chow down on a jar of green olives.
I might be. I guess I haven't tried that since I like decided I like green olives. I used to do that with black olives as a kid. I used to snack on black olives quite a bit. But the Skittle peanut butter burrito, maybe, just a thought, your next pop-up, you not only sell your normal stuff, you sell snacks, and it's only that. It is the tortilla with peanut butter and Skittles.
I think you got something there. I'm gonna
or
that up.
You might not be able to sell it, but you give it away for free. Like, the first 5 people that buy something, you get a free snack. They don't know what it is, and here you go.
Free with purchase. Yeah, definitely. I like it. You got an eye for marketing. I appreciate that.
That's why I'm here. Or maybe not. Maybe I've been confused this whole time. But anyway, so they made this hike, and is that the big? Like, did anything crazy happen, or was it just like they were eating this, and that's why it became an actual story?
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole story is that this 5-year-old basically hiked with his parents over 6 months, 2,200 miles. They slept outdoors. There's a Appalachian Long Distance Hiker Association says it doesn't matter how long it takes. You just can't skip any part of the trail, so it's official. He's the second youngest. There's a 4-year-old that did it. And
how long did it take them? Again,
about 6 months. I don't remember. I can't find the part where they started.
Who has that kind of time?
209 days, more than 6 months.
Who has that kind of time? Do these people not work at all in any capacity?
Well, they semi-retired from their real estate job. The parents.
Okay.
And I guess kid's 5, so he may have been in kindergarten, or maybe hadn't started school yet. So probably didn't. Yeah, I think he turned 5 during this, so he probably hadn't even started school yet.
Well, good for them. Skittle peanut butter burritos. You heard it here first. Well, we're the ones putting the word out, so you're welcome. Which flavor? We're spending entirely too much time on this. What flavor Skittle do you think would be best with peanut butter? I think my gut reaction is like strawberry or grape, just because like kind of jelly peanut butter.
Yeah. Well, I was leaning towards some of the tropical fruits.
You're going outside the classic Skittles flavors.
Yeah. I think there's some merit there. A little bit different. Now I gotta watch out. I'm not a fan of the pineapple, so they throw a pineapple in there. I gotta avoid that.
Skittles, I don't love the original Skittles, but like the wild berry, the tropical, the alternate flavors, those are very good. Like that is a good candy. Regular Skittles, I really only like strawberry. Lime is okay, grape's okay. Don't really like orange, don't really like yellow or lemon.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So I had a while, and again, tearing off on a tangent. I've had jalapeno M&Ms before.
Probably not bad, like spicy and chocolate. People seem to like that.
Yeah, I was skeptical, but wound up really enjoying them.
Well, congrats to the Skittle kid for that hike, but you only get a silver medal, bud. So good thing you ate. Only good thing you ate that food, or we wouldn't even be talking about them. So
yeah.
Anyways, I think he got enough airtime with that story.
There you go. Next story: soccer-loving Pope Francis gets a new toy, a foosball table.
Ooh, this isn't Nick hates it, but let's explore this. And all I want to say is I hate foosball. I think it's so overrated, not very fun. Nobody actually knows the rules. Like you're not allowed to spin it. People always just spin it and go nuts. There's no structure. It's horrible. If you grew up in a youth group, which I like, or went to any church like ever, there's always the foosball table. It always gets broken. And my wife is walking in the room, so let me make sure she doesn't get in the shot. It always gets broken. It always gets messed up. The what are they called? The poles, I guess. I don't know. They're always too loose or too tight, or there's not enough guys on there. Yeah, foosball is a horrible game, truly.
I had a foosball table. My first apartment I had by myself. Like, just I didn't have roommates or nothing. I had a foosball table, and you'd think I didn't live by myself because my friends were always over there playing. Had a GameCube and a foosball table, so I had my friends over all the time.
GameCube was good, pretty good. I prefer if we're gonna play like a apartment, college dorm style games. Ping pong is what I would prefer, and you can play ping pong more by yourself. Flip up half the table than foosball. But yeah, don't care about the story. Just wanted to say that I hate foosball, and this isn't the case. We'll get to that in just a minute. But I do think I want to explore. I'm looking at the list here. You don't even need to read this story. I think I want to explore it because we mentioned this. I believe we've mentioned this on the show. Have we not?
Which one?
Well, it's from our friends at Central Track. At least is where we're talking about the story here.
The snake?
Yeah, the Grand Prairie Cobra.
Yeah. So we want to dive into that?
Yeah, let's. Now we did talk about this on the show, right? A couple weeks ago. I feel like it's been going on a while, so I can't remember. Like I can't really think that far back. But is it still? I mean, it's still out there somewhere. You didn't see it when you went to Oh yes, because you went to the family's house, swimming, all that stuff. Didn't see the Cobra.
No. Went to my brother's, no Cobra. So his particular. He's got a real small backyard. Did not have it in there. Maybe it did. I didn't go checking. There was some brush pile. There's a little pile where he trimmed some trees. So it could have been under there, but I wasn't gonna go searching for a snake. But yeah, and the reason I brought it back up again is because it's been a couple of weeks. Still on the loose. And the Central Track story I pulled up from our friends at Central Track. Shout out Pete Friedman. Author here is Francis Tingle. This is a week-old story, about a 9-10-day-old story, and it's the most up-to-date thing I can find. Like, period. Like, everybody's just like, whatever.
We've given up.
Yeah.
Given up. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like we live in one of the biggest metropolitan areas in the country. A lot of concrete, not much. I mean, unless you're at a park, like a snake, not really that scary. Like if we lived in, I don't know, the country, maybe a little more, maybe a woodsy area, you'd be a little more intimidated. But if I'm walking around Grand Prairie, I'm on a sidewalk. I'm, walking up and down a street. I'm probably not walking much of anywhere. There's, not to hate on Grand Prairie, not much there, that you're going to be like walking around a downtown. I'm not too worried about a cobra, although I say that, I mean, it could have gotten to my house by now. So who knows?
Yeah, and again, apparently it can breed, but they're saying there's no real risk to humans as long as you keep your distance. But like, again, what if it is downtown, like hanging around a trash can or under your trash can at your house, and like,
oh, that's
dead.
true. Dang, now I'm going to be worried about flipping my recycle thing over. That we've got the bucket and they flip it over when they're done. I'm going to be a little worried about that.
Yeah.
But hopefully everybody stays safe out there. I don't mean to disparage Grand Prairie. I lived there for, I don't know, like a year and a half. But the Cobra still making its way. That's what's going to eat it. I'm actually surprised this isn't on. Well, maybe we could save this for a future podcast. I'm surprised this isn't on the list. But the Cobra is what's going to end up breeding and taking over, not these robots. Have you seen these robots doing the obstacle courses? And they had a really rough go of it in the most recent time, falling over, not able to do the flips, all those things.
I feel like I have, but no, I don't know the detail you're talking.
Yeah, I just saw this weekend. Anyway, we were all worried about these robots. They were very advanced, able to jump over stuff. Well, they did an update, try to get them to kind of go through like a mini Ninja Warrior type obstacle course, and they did not do well. So we're in the clear as of now with the robots, but the Cobras, they're going to be the ones that breed with other animals, end up taking over, and we're not even going to have a podcast anymore because of it. So thanks to everyone in Grand Prairie for not finding the Cobra. We'll blame it on you.
We're going to have Cobra squirrels jumping out of trees at us. Dang Grand Prairie. Another story, we got a snake-related story from Australia.
I did see this actually this morning. Yes, I know exactly what. Go ahead.
Woman comes face to face with snake in an Australia supermarket, and it's got a picture of a snake coming out of like the spice rack at a supermarket.
Yeah, enough snake talk. But this lady did. She just so happened to be a handler and went back home, got her stuff, and she's the one who caught and released said snake. Did you know this? Did you see that part of the story?
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah.
So hot take maybe. I think she's the one who planted the snake. She wanted to get a little hero status. Oh, I just happen to be a handler of snakes. Let me go home real quick. It's not poisonous, and I'll release it into the wild. Coincidence? I don't think so. I think she's the one. She brought it with her, put it in the spice rack. Just happened to be the one to see it. I don't buy it. Anyway, I think that's enough snake talk. Unless you have any thoughts.
Well, Australia seems like the most dangerous place in the world.
Oh yeah, don't disagree.
Like you see it, like, oh, check under your seats because there might be like tarantulas that will eat your bottom out. Like, no, I'll be so paranoid to go to that. Like, spiders and snakes may come out of your drain in your shower.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of desert in Australia. Like, you drive too far, you're kind of stuck. Like, it's pretty barren. But anyway, a lot of snakes in the news. What's up with, what are we doing here? We need to get that under control. No matter where you are, Grand Prairie, Australia, figure it out.
Let's get these snakes again. Well, that story. Woman uses gun's laser sight to play with cat, shoots friend.
Well, I laughed because my cat made a cameo here. He used, when he was younger, he used to love the laser pointer. So I don't disparage her for that, but like, practice gun safety. If you're going to, first of all, don't do that. Like, laser pointers are very cheap. You can get one for like a couple dollars, and you can even get one that will, like, we have one actually for the very lazy people amongst us, like myself. It looks like a little tower, and you turn it on, and it points the laser, moves it for you. You don't even have to do anything. So don't use a gun, especially one that I assume is probably fairly expensive, like if it has that on there, because then you end up shooting your friends. So practice gun safety. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, my cats, I got two little kittens, and they're okay with the laser. They like it. My dog, my youngest dog. So we use the laser from like we have a little laser thermometer, those ones you point. He can hear the click across the house when you hit the trigger.
Wow.
I'll use it for cooking. Man, he loves it. You can play with him for hours. I'll get him up and down the hall, and I'll stand in the middle of the hallway, and I'll just run it back and forth, and he will sprint full speed for 30 minutes straight.
Wow.
And I was like, and you stop, and he stops, and he looks at you, and he gets, that dog face, like, come on,
Yeah.
He loves it.
But don't do that with a gun, because then you end up shooting someone. The person, I hope, is okay while we're making light of this story. Does it say?
Shot in the thigh, went to another apartment. They put a tourniquet into the hospital. No word on the conditions. So, yeah, let's hope they're okay.
Shot in the thigh, probably, all things considered, they're fine.
Yeah, hope so. I mean, there is a major artery in the thigh, so let's.
Well, maybe we'll get an update. But anyways, now I feel bad. So there we go.
Sorry to be a downer there. Well, we're gonna move on to the segment of the day, best segment we have, and that's Nick Hates It.
Adam, thank you for the passing it along to me. This is the segment where we talk about things that I hate. And if you hate something, feel free to send it my way. We are on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Nick Nepic. I don't know our exact Twitter handle, Adam, because the spelling has to be off because of the length. But is it well below AVG? Am I remembering that right?
Yes.
So at well below AVG, let us know something that you hate, and we will feature it on the show. But we're going to keep it short today. Just one thing, and this is pretty big news in the world of Disney. So I've married into a Disney family, have become sort of a big Disney fanatic myself. But if you know anything about Disney World, the Disney parks, there's always been this thing called a Fast Pass. You can sign up for it. It allows you to skip lines. It doesn't cost anything. Well, since COVID, Fast Passes have gone away. You just have to wait in line. Well, now Disney has taken this time to, of course, try to make more money. And I love Disney, but they're just trying to make an extra buck. They have replaced Fast Passes with what they are calling Disney Genie Plus. And basically what it is you pay $15 per ticket per day. So like if you've never been to Disney, you pay to go to the park per day. The ticket's pretty expensive. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think you're approaching $100, if not over $100. I think it is over $100. So you pay $15 per ticket per day, and $20, or that's at Disney World, and at Disneyland in California, it's $20. And then you get to choose available times to arrive at all kinds of attractions. So instead of the way Fast Passes work is like, a certain amount of time before you got to the park, you could sign up. It was first come, first serve. It was kind of a race, but now you have to pay for it. And it's, however many attractions, and you schedule a time to arrive at the ride. You can also do individual attractions, and that's like up to 2 of the highly demanded ones. So like, I don't know, not Rise of the Resistance because it's the queue, but like at Magic Kingdom, like the Mine Train or something. But Disney, what I hate, getting more money out of people, because what they're doing is going to price out people like myself who are not rich and want to go to Disney World and have to spend a ton of money to get there. And just that extra $15 per ticket, per day. If you have a family of 4, I mean, what's the math there? $60 per day that you're adding on. That's more than a meal that you're having to pay just to be able to get on those rides. So hate that, not a big fan. Don't know if we will do it because shout out to, I guess, God, I have a disability. And so we get to do that for free. You sign up for disability services at Disney, then you get to go to a ride and say, we want to get in line, come back, 2 hours later, go right to the front. So that's what we do. And it's basically the same thing. You just don't have to pay for it. So we might pay for some at some point because our daughter will want to ride, the Frozen ride or whatever it may be. But yeah, don't love that. Really hate it, actually. Pretty frustrating. And following like random Disney blogs and stuff and comment sections, my wife tells me, seems like most people are pretty upset about it. But the who they will get is the average family that's going to go to Disney, maybe once in the course of their life. They'll spend that extra money. So anyway, enough Disney for this show, but pretty upset about that. Don't love it, but that is what Disney is doing to replace fast passes now. And I hate it quite a bit. Remember, if you hate something, let us know. We'll talk about it, because I hate a lot of things, but everybody hates something. And Adam, of course, you can always tell things that you hate too, but I feel like you're the more positive one of the podcast, of the two of us. So maybe you shouldn't. I don't know.
I hate lots of things, but yeah, I'll let you handle the hate.
Yeah, but that's all I hate for today. We'll have more next week.
Well, I love Nick Hates It, but I also love our other sponsor, our Local Menace. We've talked about them a couple of times. I am actually wearing a Local Menace t-shirt, my favorite t-shirt, the Mars Attacks guy, alien guy, if you can't see. Local Menace is a Dallas-based, artist-owned streetwear brand hell-bent on destroying your wardrobe. Okay, they make shirts, hats, t-shirts, and other dumb merchandise that will destroy your wardrobe, and you can find that at localmenace.com. Localmenace.com. Use coupon code BeardCrew. Let them know we sent you, and you'll get a 25% off on your entire purchase. Check them out at localmenace.com for your streetwear accessories.
And everybody loves t-shirts. Everybody loves t-shirts. So check it out. Yeah. A lot of great gear. Add some t-shirts to your closet.
Yes, definitely. And they are always out at the pop-ups here. So if you're local to Dallas Fort Worth area, check them out on Instagram at Local Menace, and you'll find them just around town. It's about every weekend. So let's get into a little bit of TV talk. So I've been nothing new really. I haven't watched the show Outer Banks yet. I've looked at it. I know you've tweeted about it a couple times.
Yeah, just finished the second season this weekend, so we're fully caught up. Still recommend it. So if you're looking for something, it's worth your time.
Okay, now I'll circle to it. I'm doing. So have you watched Game of Thrones? Are you?
I have actually never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. So that is it won't quite make an appearance on Nick Hates It, because I don't have any dislike towards it. I've just never watched it.
Yeah, so it took me a while to watch. I think I started watching it maybe like 2-3 months after it ended. Now, I didn't have HBO forever, once I started cord cutting and got rid of cable and all that and had extra money, it's like, well, I'm saving $80 a month on cable and grab HBO, just watch that. And now I have all of them. But I'm watching it for the second time, and it's a cool show. It holds up, and I guess I like shows like that because there really is no cultural relevancy. There really is no, it takes place in a fictional world. It's all fantasy. I don't know if you like Lord of the Rings. It's rated R, Lord of the Rings, in a lot of respects. But no, so doing a rewatch of that, enjoying it, sitting down and kind of a little more detail in it. The acting is hit or miss. There's great Peter Dinklage. You familiar with him?
I've heard the name. That's about all I can tell.
He's I don't know what the appropriate term is. He's a little person.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
He's a ton of things. He is fantastic in that. He is just. I just love his character. He's so funny. But I recommend it. Not for the most delicate sentiment person. You got to go through some gore and some, not something you want to watch Saturday morning before you go to church. Definitely. So, yeah.
Well, glad it holds up. I do want to mention. I see what you have on our TV list here. Mission Impossible. This Ooh, man, I think I've seen all the movies. Aren't there are there four now?
6.
I was way off. I know I've seen at least three of them. I think I've seen half for sure, but it has been a long time.
Yeah, I just finished 6 like minutes before we started recording. Watching them with my son, but I never. I like you. I think I'd seen 2 or 3 of them. Um, I don't think I'd seen the first one. Now the first one does not hold up. The second one is terrible. They get better. The sixth one's a little better. They got 2 more planned. They're supposed to come out this year and next year, next couple of years. So number 7 and 8. But they're pretty interesting. They're obviously spy thrillers, but yeah, I watched all 6 of them this week.
All 6 in 1 week. That's commitment. Especially if the first 2 are terrible, then you got to keep going. Now you said they get better, but I mean, if you had no idea, first 2 terrible, I'm probably checking out for the rest.
Yeah. Well, the first one's not bad. It just doesn't really hold up. Like, it was like 1998. It's like, man, my cell phone has better technology than they're like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
The second one is just, I don't like it. Like, it's trying to be super stylistic. Like, all the shots are real, like, yeah. I don't know how to explain it. No, I fell asleep during a couple of them because, I'm getting old, and if I sit still too long, I fall asleep.
Like me during the podcast. No,
yeah.
that didn't actually happen. But, Tom Cruise, I don't know. He's in all of them, right? Like they didn't move on from him.
No, he's in all of them. At number 6, they have Mustache Superman. That's pretty cool. You've heard that story, right? The Henry Cavill, who played Superman in the DC movies.
Mm-hmm.
So he did the Justice League movie and then shot the Mission Impossible 6, and he had to go do reshoots for Justice League, and he grew a mustache for Mission Impossible, but the Mission Impossible people were like, no, we cannot let you shave your mustache. And so the Justice League people had to CGI out his mustache, and if you watch the movie, it's like this weird mouth, like computerized mouth that is so like crazy looking, like not like a human mouth moves.
You think they could do better, and with all the technology that we have, but I guess not.
Well, you think it'd be easier to put a fake mustache on somebody than a CGI mouth?
Then the reverse, yeah. But again, guess not.
Yeah. But no, he was pretty good in it. He was a bad guy. No spoilers. Spoilers, bad guy.
Wow, spoiler alert. I don't know much about Jeopardy. I know there's drama with Jeopardy, but I don't really know the details of it. But if you do, feel free, because it's been kind of all over the Twitter sphere, the social media stuff all week.
Well, so they were having like guest hosts, and LeVar Burton, who was Geordi on Star Trek, the Reading Rainbow guy, he guest hosted, and he was wildly popular, his little run. But one of the producers, Richards, or I forget his name, named himself the new host. And then after 2 days of officially being the host of Jeopardy, again, like always, some like past racism came back or something, misogyny, some bad stuff from his past tweets came back up, and he resigned. And now there's again a big, because everybody was mad that LeVar Burton didn't get selected.
Well, I know he was really popular. I mean, I saw it all over the internet.
Yeah. So there was there was a big upset. Why not him? He was great. He really fit the mold. The producer of the show named himself, which was like one of those like, well, okay, that's kind of crummy. Yeah, obviously you want the spotlight, and then
like the kid growing up playing a game at his house, and he's making up rules as he goes. He's like, "Oh, sorry, that one didn't count because of this." And he's like, and you're like, "Well, you just did this," and you're like, "Oh no, that's just the rules." And like that whole vibe.
Yeah, the Mayim Bialik, the Blossom, the Amy Farrah Fowler from
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Big Bang Theory.
Big
Yeah.
Bang, yeah. She's doing some hosting too, some like special episodes, and they're gonna like talk about expanding her role. I guess again, there's this big uproar and outcry to get LeVar Burton to be the main host.
And I wonder, surely they hear it. I guess I wonder if it's like a stick to their guns kind of thing. Like they're just staying with it now because they said it. They don't want to admit that everybody's right. I don't know.
The only thing I could think of, and I haven't read this, is LeVar Burton is 62. Maybe they want someone younger that they can, have for 20 years. Whereas Burton, maybe he's only going to do, maybe he won't want to do it until his 70s or 80s. That would be the only thing I could think of.
Well, either way, I would love to see the ratings difference, like from when Alex Trebek, RIP, is still hosting. Now, of course, at the end, when he had already passed away, people were watching it because he had passed away. But I'd love to see the ratings difference once they get a solid host as compared to, when he was still solidly hosting.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, but they got to get somebody consistent. I was really pulling for Aaron Rodgers to retire and host Jeopardy. I thought that would have been
that would have been a great storyline.
Yes. Screw you, NFL. I'm hosting Jeopardy.
Now, speaking of sports, we don't have this is kind of a dead time in sports. I mean, the Rangers are terrible. No need to talk about them. But late, mid preseason, you're not. I mean, the excitement of that is worn off. So we really don't have. There's some sports stuff, but is there anything in your drum my interest? Like, what sports stuff do we have? Because it's feeling kind of dead right now. Late August, we really don't have a whole lot.
Well, we're definitely ramping up. Let's not say it's dead. We're building up. We're building up.
Okay. See, the positive part of the podcast. I say it's dead. You say we're building up to the best part of the year. We got NFL. We got college football. The baseballs. The playoffs. NBA around the corner. So what you said, way better.
Yeah, it's like the slow clap. We're in the first part of the slow clap. Yeah, we'll build up. So the big thing is, I think the biggest news, kind of more culturally relevant, is I'm gonna butcher her name, Sha'Carri. Is that how you say it?
You got it. Sha'Carri, I believe. Yeah.
Sha'Carri Richardson. Bit of a controversy during the Olympics. Tested positive for marijuana, which I am very much on the side of who cares. It grows out of the ground. We can talk about religious stuff if you want, but don't really care. Not a performance enhancer. Nothing. But she comes back, first race since all of that. She finishes last, and I guess there's a bunch of I told you so type people. But I don't know if you've read anything about this, heard anything about her comeback.
So, when it happened, it was a bummer because I don't participate personally, but I don't really care. At the same time, the rules are the rules, and she knew the rules. They're in place. Is it a bummer? Yes, but the way she handled it, maybe not the way she handled it. I don't want to misrepresent her. The way that the public at large handled it was you're taking her out of her race. She would have medaled. This is so unfair to her. This is her chance. And maybe she kind of got in those feelings a little bit, sort of carried that persona. I don't know. But then got smoked in that race. Finished last, or was there 10? And she was second to last.
She was last, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so finished ninth, got smoked. And the big story was the three women, or maybe not three, the women that medaled in this race in the Olympics were racing. So it was her chance to get redemption, to say, see, this is what I would have done if you wouldn't have taken me out. And here we are, kind of a dud. I'm not mad at her. She didn't, not her fault, but disappointing because the naysayer, the hater, whatever word you want to use, they can say, well, it didn't really matter anyway. You got your chance, albeit not in the Olympics, and here we are. So a bummer for her, especially because she's local. I mean, right here in Dallas Fort Worth. Um, she'll get another chance. She'll be back. It would be great to see her get some sort of redemption, but this is what it was billed like redemption for her, and it was like sad trombone, the whole thing.
I like that. Yeah, but I saw it different. Like, yeah, there was the letdown at the Olympics, and you're right. The rules are the rules, and however you want to think about it, maybe the rules should be revisited, but they haven't been. Um, I kind of saw it as she had a big letdown at the Olympics. The Olympics were like the Super Bowl. This to me seemed like the preseason. She was coming out her first race. Maybe she hadn't trained as much. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she'd taken some time off, and I don't know exactly. It's speculating, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was this huge race to be built up that way.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that person, the mainstream media. I hate people say that, but maybe it's the media, building it up more to get viewers. I mean, probably is. Yeah. I mean, that's their job. So I think you have a point there. Like the NFL blows up the preseason because people will watch it. So.
Yeah. Speaking of NFL preseason, I don't know how much of the Dallas Cowboys were watching, but I think old Dinklage is done. I think his 3 interceptions on Saturday pretty much ended any chance of him making this roster. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. Now the Cowboys, gosh, I hate myself for saying this because it's the preseason, it's the backup quarterback, but they do have like an interesting decision, like who's the backup, and it kind of matters. If you believe Dak's 100%, great. But there's reports that he's not. There's reports that he won't be all year. If he misses a game, misses 2 games, I mean, you got to have somebody that can give you something, and so it matters. But Ben DiNucci, sorry, man. Nice guy, I'm sure, but NFL quarterback, probably not.
No, and I mean to think about it, like who has a great backup? Like even Pittsburgh, your team, like is what's his name?
Oh, yeah, Mason Rudolph. He's not good. Right. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I
will say he has NFL
experience. No, absolutely not. But he played like he's played in like 15 games. He's very average, but he can and has won an NFL game. So like there's that. But yeah, no NFL team is their backup quarterback comes in unless you're like the Bears and you start Andy Dalton, which is a whole other conversation. Or Trey Lance in San Francisco. Like nobody's like, oh yeah, our backup. But yeah, that's the Cowboys. I mean, somewhat interesting decision. So, but Ben DiNucci, he's not that guy.
Yeah. What's it? Kansas City has. Oh, what's his name? Matt Moore or somebody like that.
I mean, he helped them secure that playoff game last year. So there's something to be said about that. But yeah, the preseason, I'm real over it. We got 1 more week. And then a week off, and then we'll have the real thing. So, just got to make it through.
A couple other things. I've been watching a lot of CBS Sports HQ. Shout out to Amanda Guerrera, local kid, made good. I've noticed something though. They were like freaks about betting lines. Even Bryant McFadden is on all the time. And even he's like, yeah, the under is 17-3 with the why are you're a commentator? Why are you talking about betting lines? This seems.
I just think we're getting more and more. I mean, closer and closer to where it's just normal. I mean, they talk about it on some broadcasts. I mean, Al Michaels is famous, for throwing in like little comments about a backdoor cover or something like that. Now we live in Texas, so we'll probably be one of the last. Maybe not one of the last because there's already talks that they're trying to get it going. But yeah, sports gambling is just getting more popular, and there's a lot of money in it. So it's not surprising. And I do not gamble. It's not legal in Texas. However, I do like to follow what the spreads are, what the lines are, especially in the NFL, and pick some games just for fun, just to keep things interesting. But I do not want to start gambling because then my wife might kick me out of the house, and our daughter might not have a college fund. But joke's on her. She doesn't have a college fund anyway. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, sports gambling, I really thought I'd get a laugh out of that one. Sports gambling, just getting more mainstream. I don't watch CBS Sports HQ much. I haven't in a while. When I used to not have any TV, really, I watched it a lot. I just had Wi-Fi. But it's just getting more mainstream all over Twitter. You know, there's networks for gambling on sports now. So I'm not too surprised by that.
Yeah, it just seems the more I watch it, the more I notice it's like it seems to be the kind of the underlying thing. Speaking of kind of gambling, the reason I didn't laugh, I got a text from your buddy Jared Sandler. Are you doing the pick'em this year?
Oh no, it's way too intense for me. Like way too big of a commitment with how many games and all that. I have been in pick'em leagues before. In fact, I'm in a pick'em league for NFL. The money all goes to like a nonprofit, like a charity for like cancer research. So there's a little buy-in, but it all goes towards that, and the winner gets like a prize. But anyway, I pick the NFL games against the spread every week, and that's enough for me. But this one includes college, and there's like different confidence, and yeah, just too much of a commitment for me, especially since I'm already doing the other one. But yeah, I don't care enough about. I like college football, but I'm not as invested in it, and so that extra layer makes it tough for me to want to do it.
Yeah, that's the one part. It was like, it seemed more like a chore. The other part seems fine, but I was in a pick'em league with my dad and brother, and it was just college, and it was kind of a beating at times. Picking all the top, and it was top 25. Like, Tulsa squeaked into the top 25. A couple weeks. Like, I don't know.
You're like, oh crap, I don't know.
Tulsa versus Marymount. What? Who cares?
Yeah. But we'll maybe we'll talk some lines and spreads and stuff and during the NFL season. Who knows? But of course, all in the name of fun, not in the name of wagering. That's for sure.
And I don't like gambling. Like, I don't know. I'd rather keep my dollar. Last topic, Bleacher Report. The schedule for the NBA has come out, and Bleacher Report has put out an article predicting the records of every team in the NBA. So
Mavs,
what is your
82-0?
82-0 is not right. Little less.
Okay. 79-2. Wait, 3.
It's closer. It's closer.
Let's see. How many? I don't know off the top of my head how many games the Mavs won last year. I'm gonna guess they have them at like 50 something wins.
49, 33.
Okay. That's a little lower than I would have guessed, but I mean their roster's not all that much better than it was last year. So.
No, and they got them winning the Southwest, which divisions don't matter, I guess, at all. But they got it pretty much dominating. But some interesting ones, and I don't like that they have them all scrambled up here. They have the Clippers taking quite a step back. I guess Kawhi will be there. 43 wins for the Clippers. Phoenix, they got Phoenix behind Golden State and the Lakers. Which I don't know. I mean, Phoenix was a finals team, and I know injuries played a lot into what happened later in the year, but Phoenix is good. What other big surprises here?
Can you see who they have? I mean, like even just in the Eastern Conference, but like overall, who they have as the most wins? Their prediction for that?
So they got Utah and LA Lakers both picked in the West at 53 wins. And the East, they got it real mixed up here, real weird. They got Milwaukee at 54 wins, and Brooklyn and Milwaukee both at 54 wins.
Okay, nothing too crazy there. But again, it's August, so we'll see. I don't know. I think the 49 feels low for the Mavericks, but the only way they really take a big step forward, in my opinion, is if Luka goes like otherworldly all the time. In fact, Today's August 22nd. Here's what I'll say: the Mavericks will make the playoffs and win a playoff series, and they'll lose in the second round. I think the step for them is they win a playoff series. I don't think they could. I just can't see them doing much more than that.
See, but I think the only way they get better is if Porzingis gets better. I think Luka is naturally going to get a little better. I think if Porzingis can be even somewhat consistent, they're better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how, in my opinion, they take that next step or a step in the right direction. I'd like to see Bullock, Reggie Bullock, new addition, some quality depth, get in there and be someone they could depend on. But what are you hearing about the kid from Chicago? Got the funny name.
Markkanen.
Markkanen, yeah.
I don't think he's super. I mean, I don't know a ton of the details. I just don't. They could make it work, but I don't think it would fit well. They wouldn't have much defense at all. Not that they're a great defensive team, but it makes them worse. I liked him coming out of Arizona. He's a good offensive player, but I wouldn't be too thrilled. I might be a little not disappointed, but just whatever. If they were to get him, he doesn't move the needle much for me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's it on sports. Well, that's it for everything. That's all I got for today. You got anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. What I will say is let us know if you like the video. If you think we're ugly and you would rather us just do audio, we can take it. Like, that's why, like, it's well below average. Like, we're not up here. So let us know, share the show, like and comment and subscribe and whatever else the kids are doing. Use emojis. Kids love emojis, don't they? And check out our sponsors, Rodeo Coffee, Local Menace, Ish Beard Works. Check them all out because they support the show. So that's all I got.
Well, until we see you next week, everybody out there, stay above average.